Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today we're going to talk about the stock market and what's happening in the market and what to expect from the stock market over the next few weeks. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? I'm going to lay some of these things out for you in terms of what I've been seeing in my research. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black economics and Black wealth, and we're obsessed with closing the wealth gap and making B1 people the richest people in the world. But the condition is that we live under the B1 philosophy. B1 means that we are Black first. Black first means that we solve our own problems first. We prioritize ourselves first. We believe that we are what we've been looking for. And also we believe that B1 children will be leaders in the world when it comes to economics and wealth building within the next 50 years. We have a plan, the Project 2070, which says that by the year 2070, our kids will be leaders in the world when it comes to economics. If you agree with this philosophy, if you are on board with this ideology, put a B1 in the chat, hashtag B and the number one, hashtag B1. You can use it on Facebook, use the hashtag on Instagram, use the hashtag on Twitter, so we can have B1 conversations. So let's get it cracking. I want to say hello to everybody. I see Lolo, Queen Bee, and Brian, and Sade, and Rochelle, and Dion, and Dan, and everybody on Instagram. What's going on? My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So if you like to keep it real and you don't mind real conversations, then feel free to follow us at The Real Boyce Watkins. There it is. There's my Instagram on the screen. All right. So how many of you got up this morning and made some money in your stocks? If you made money, put a yes. If you did make money, put a no. All the money makers say yes. All the non-money makers today say no, because it's probably a mixed bag. I'm going to guess it's a mixed bag for a lot of you. Right now, the stock market, let's see, this morning, it looks like it's off to a good start. Went up another about half a percent, which is solid. The market's just been on a tear. The Dow's at 35,000. I mean, just a few months ago, or if you go back 5 years, the Dow at 35,000 was seen as kind of, like a big number. Like it seemed almost impossible. It seemed insane, and in fact, actually, I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you can kind of look at what I'm looking at right now, because I really want you to think about this. This is really the value of being a visionary in your own life. If you're a visionary, you can see stuff like this. If you're a visionary, you can see things like this. Now, if you can't see it on the screen and you're on Instagram, just go to drboycetv.com or something like that and you can watch it. But it's okay. You can still listen from over there, and I'll describe what I'm seeing. So look at this chart. I mean, look at this chart, y'all. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So right here, this is when the pandemic began. At the Dow was at 21,635 or 36. A lot of people were running away from the stock market at that time. A lot of people were scared to invest. Scared money don't make money. Scared money doesn't make money. It just doesn't. And they were running away, selling their stocks. You all in here, the B1 people, you're the smart ones. So what did you do? You didn't run away. You ran toward the money. You didn't run away from the money. You ran toward the money. That's how you get the money. You got to run toward it. You can't run away from it. And you were investing heavily at this point. A lot of you were investing heavily. And if you recall, go back and watch every video I did right when the pandemic began, because you know how I am. I'm in here every day. On that day, in that week, I was telling you, I am buying every single thing I can get my hands on. I'm doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down. And why did I say that? Well, because I told you guys that historically speaking, when I was working on my PhD, we went through 100 years of stock market data, and the average length of a bear market is about 14 months. So I said, if you can hold on for 14 months, I mean, some of y'all been holding on to a raggedy boyfriend for 14 years. Some of y'all been holding on to a raggedy situation for 10 years. We got pairs of shoes we've held on to for 5 or 10 years. We have all kinds of bad habits we've held on to for 20 years. So I said, if you can hold on to your stocks for 14 months, chances are you're going to be glad that you made that decision. And the beauty of this turnaround was that it happened faster than I thought. I really felt in my heart the money was coming based on the research and the data that I've analyzed for many, many years. You guys know I'm not just a guy talking on the internet. I've been a college professor on this stuff for 27 years. So I know things that a lot of people don't know because I spent years obsessing over this stuff, 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, studied every day, including Christmas, for over a decade. So I know this stuff extremely well. And I can tell you that when I saw this, I said, oh my God, Oh my God, this is one of the greatest money-making opportunities in the history of this country. And lo and behold, the beauty of it was that it didn't happen in 14 months. It happened in about 2 weeks. In about 2 to 3 weeks, you started seeing your money doubling and tripling and growing, unlike anything we've seen maybe in a generation. And now we're at 35,000. So here we're at 21,000. Now we're at 35,000. Now, if you'd had even more vision and went back 5 years ago, you could have been buying in on the Dow at 18,000. 18,000 compared to 31,000. Let's go back further. If you went back, say, I don't know, you went back to say 2000 and let's say you old school with it and you went back to 2003. The Dow was less than 8,000. 8,000. You could have been buying Amazon for pennies. I don't know what Amazon. Let me see. Let me look at Amazon stock. Let me just because it's just interesting now. Let's look at Amazon, Mike. I mean, Amazon's trading at $3,333 right now. Let's see, in 2008, you could have bought Amazon for $79. In 2012, you could have bought it for $258. In 2017, you could have bought it for the expensive price of $822, where it would have only tripled for you, right? So the thing about it, this is the point I'm making on this. This is just something I didn't even plan on talking about it, but it's really true. People who have vision make money. People who can see the future make money. You know, LeBron James is one of the greatest basketball players of all time for one key reason, in my view. I noticed this when he was playing in high school. I used to argue with my friend. He's another finance professor. He's a senior faculty member at Georgetown now, my homeboy, George Coleman. I haven't talked to George in years, but we used to argue a lot about basketball. And I told him, I said, LeBron James is going to be something special. And he said, no, LeBron's just going to be a regular guy. And I said, no. This guy's different. I watched him in high school. I said, the reason this guy's going to be great is for one key reason. He has the best court vision I have ever seen. This guy can be anywhere on the court and see everything that's happening and get the ball exactly to where it needs to be. Even if he's not scoring the point, he knows how to position people to make sure that they do it. He was playing in the McDonald's All-Star game, and it really almost looked like I've never seen a player dominate the All-Star game like that. It almost looked like a father playing with children. You know how daddy will be like, okay, little Billy, you run over there. I'm going to get you the ball. Okay, Cindy, here. Now it's Cindy's turn to shoot. LeBron was doing that. And because he had vision, right? And now LeBron is a billionaire. Why? Well, because he has vision. He doesn't just have vision on the court of basketball. Basketball's a game. He doesn't just have vision on the court of basketball. He has vision on the court of life. He has vision in life. That's why LeBron's a billionaire. That's why he sat down with his beautiful wife. I keep wanting to say her name Sabrina, but it's not Sabrina, it's Savannah. He sat with Savannah and he said, this woman is the reason I'm successful. People didn't understand that. That's because people without vision don't understand how a supportive and empowered wife can elevate you to levels that a lot of men can't go to, right? He has vision. His children are doing exceptionally well because he has vision, right? So what I want to encourage you to understand is that if you want to be successful, you must find ways to develop vision so that you can achieve your goal. People who have vision could have seen where the stock market was going to go. Now it's at 35,000. So the question is, do you have the vision? Can you visualize 40,000? Can you visualize when the market's going to hit 45? Can you visualize 50,000? Amazon's trading at $3,333. Can you visualize $4,000? Can you visualize 5,000? If you know that Microsoft stock is trading at a couple $100 or whatever the number is, I got to go look it up. Can you visualize Microsoft trading $50 higher, $100 higher? Can you visualize that? Or are you only able to visualize the past? Anybody can visualize the present. That's what most people do. Most people can only see what's happening right now. They live in the moment. Instant gratification. That's why people fail. Instant gratification. It's not your fault. It's fed to you through hip hop music. It's fed to you through mainstream media. It's fed through you through the ADHD culture that we have. So everybody can see the present. A dog can see what's happening right now. A dog can see, oh, there's some food over there. I'm gonna go eat it. There's a pretty girl over there. I'm gonna go have some sex. A dog can say, oh, he made me mad. I'm gonna go fight. Right? That dogs see the moment. Anybody can see the moment. Anybody can see the past, but can you see the future? Only a small percentage of you can see the future. Now, and those of you who can't, I want you to practice that, because I can tell you that if you can see the future and visualize what the future could be, that is one of the keys to being successful. The life I live right now is a life I saw 25 years ago. I saw this 25 years ago. I didn't just wake up this morning to see it. Okay. So I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but I hope that tangent helps you, because I really want you to understand this thing on a deep level. I don't want you to just think of it as X's and O's of putting my money in stocks or whatever so I can make a couple of dollars. That's cool. You're going to make that money. but I want you to see it at a higher level so you can really live your best life and become your best self. Okay, guys, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, I want to remind you that my podcast is audio. You can go on Spotify and Apple and all the other stuff and check it out. It's called the Dr. Boyce Breakdown. You can also go to thedrboycebreakdown.com, thedrboycebreakdown.com. That's the URL. So feel free to download the podcast there. All right. So let me tell you one thing that I was digging up. I made some notes about what I've been seeing in my research. One is that the crypto investors, there's probably going to be some changes in the tax laws that's going to require you to report more of your money to the IRS. The IRS always makes sure that it gets its paper. The IRS doesn't mess around. And so with this new infrastructure bill, one of the ways they're going to fund the infrastructure bill is by basically enforcing crypto tax laws so that they minimize tax evasion. They argue that about $1 trillion a year is lost because of crypto investors that don't pay proper taxes on the crypto. So you want to be ready for that because eventually the IRS will be coming for that ass. So do not play around with the I, the R, or the S because you will regret it. And they are coming to get your money. So just make sure that you work with your accountant, your financial advisor, whatever the case may be, and that will help you to avoid all those problems. Also, China is cracking down on investing. I told you guys to be careful about investing in Chinese stocks. There's two perspectives on China. I've been processing this a lot, and I've talked about China before. I told you guys how much money I lost in China investments. They were doing really well, and then the Chinese government just stepped in and just started doing crazy stuff. So the Chinese government is like, I don't know, like a crazy ex-boyfriend that messes up your relationship with that pretty girl you just started dating, right? Everything's going good, and then he shows up with a gun, and then next thing you know, it's like, we got to talk about this. I might be moving on. So with China's got that same problem right now. The government is kind of getting in the way of the ability of Chinese companies to list in the United States. They've been passing crazy laws and just doing weird things to interfere with commerce and trade, which has caused significant losses in Chinese stocks. The Chinese stocks I'd invested in: Alibaba, Didi, Chiching, which is the Chinese Uber, also a company called Tekadu, which I spoke highly of. These investments were all doing fine. And then the Chinese government came in and just started passing rules and regulations and whatever. Now, there's two schools of thought. There's one school of thought that says just get out, just get the hell out, don't come back, don't invest, don't mess with China. That's it. But there are experts that are kind of feeling like China is still a market that's too big to ignore. And as a result of that, there are some people who are saying, look, it is risky. The government could come in and interfere. But what happens is that when that happens, prices go down, which creates what is called a risk premium. And a risk premium feeds into that whole relationship between risk and reward. They say nothing ventured, nothing gained. Well, what they're basically saying is that there's a positive connection between risk and reward. If you take greater chances, then you get greater rewards. Or when they say scared money don't make money, they mean that if you don't take a risk, then you don't get the reward. If you don't take a chance, then good things can't happen. So they're saying that because the price is so low, that these might actually be good investments that could do well, particularly since they think that maybe the Chinese government's interference might have gotten it all out of its system so that now they can kind of move forward in certain industries and not sort of feel the need to jump in there and make their point. Like they've already made their point. Like, look, we are in power. Don't test us. And now it's like, okay, we're going to back off. So I don't really know. I'm going to process that a little bit. I don't know if it's enough to make me go back and invest in China, but it is something I paid attention to. Also, when you talk about the markets, you have strong stock markets right now. You got a jobs report coming out soon. That's going to be a big deal. Interest rates are low, which is pushing up the market. Another good catalyst that's pushing the market forward is the fact that you have a lot of stimulus from the Fed, as well as stimulus coming from the government, where there's a big infrastructure bill that's about to be passed, and that's going to be huge. And what that's doing is that's just pushing up your asset prices. And so being in the market is good right now because you want to be there while the getting's good. Now how long that's going to last, nobody knows. And one of the factors that could end up pushing back on that is this constant conversation about the Delta variant. And the Delta variant is interesting. I saw a report from a guy named Scott Gottlieb, who used to be with the CDC or something. And he was saying that the Delta variant actually is slowing down, that he was saying that in the South, like in Florida, They kind of just wasn't even they weren't even there for the pandemic stuff. They were just kind of like, whatever, man. We schmandemic. We ain't even paying attention to that. We went to Florida during the height of the pandemic, and people were not wearing masks and were shaking hands and living regular life. Like right when everybody was at their most afraid, going to Florida was really interesting. I said, okay, this is either very relieving. This is a great relief to be here, or I should be mortified about what I'm seeing. And the thing is, Florida just lived and they kept going on with their lives like normal. And they said, look, we're going to wash our hands and socially distance and just kind of work, work our way through it. And they did. The world did not come to an end. This blinding apocalypse that we expected as a result of the pandemic, it hasn't occurred. I guess in our minds, we're visualizing like this zombie apocalypse movie where everything's just, falling apart and, people are just dying in the streets, and that just didn't happen. Right. You probably did have people that got sick, right? Because viruses are real. But there are a lot of viruses that are real. But what I like about Florida and Texas and other places is that they kind of just kept it moving. And sure, they did have more infections, and they probably even had more deaths. But they just worked through it. They said, look, we're going to have some stuff that doesn't work out. But, okay, there's a 1 in 500 chance that I could get this and die, especially if I'm old. But we'll take that chance, right? 400 for every one of us that dies, 499 of us will live. And the 499 of us are going to just go on with our lives. And, and so I'm not saying that that's the philosophy you want to take. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just telling you that I think that there's a lot of ways to kind of skin that cat. And if you notice that the people that made the most money during the pandemic were the ones who kept moving. Elon Musk made about $300 million a day. Let me say that number again, $300 million a day during the pandemic, because he didn't shut down the factories at Tesla. He just said, let's clean the factories out, keep people safe, and keep it moving. Jeff Bezos probably made about $300 or $400 million a day because he just kept it moving. He didn't stop. Right. And so shutting down the whole world, I don't know if that's necessary, but the Delta variant could cause supply disruptions, which could really create the boogeyman of the economy. The boogeyman is something called stagflation. Stagflation is when you have a poor economy and lots of inflation at the same time. Typically, when you have a lot of inflation, it's because your economy is doing well. Or if your economy is doing bad, you have deflation, right? So you rarely have to deal with both of them at the same time. You'll get one and it'll cause the other, right? You get a lot of inflation, but your economy is doing well, or your economy takes off, but you got to worry about inflation. Well, stagflation is when you have inflation and your economy is not doing well. So in a way, it's like having sex and you didn't even have a good time, right? Bad things happen because you not only laid down with somebody you shouldn't have laid down with, but now you've got all these other problems that come with it. And you're like, man, I didn't even get the enjoyment of that experience because it was like bad sex with a terrible person, right? So stagflation is kind of the same way. It's basically a situation where you get the bad and you don't get the good. But instead of getting the bad and the good, you're getting the bad and the bad. You're getting a double dose of the bad, right? So stagflation is a word that they're starting to use more now. That's a concern, because once you get into stagflation, you cannot pull your economy out of that. So the big gamble right now is whether or not the Federal Reserve is right or wrong about their prediction on inflation. They believe that inflation right now is transitory, but there are lots of experts who are saying that it's not. In fact, a couple areas inflation is coming from. There's a guy named Mohammed El-Iran who appears on CNBC, who does really good analysis on this kind of thing. And he said that a couple areas inflation is coming from is one, higher cost of supplies, just because of supply chain disruptions, maybe from the Delta variant, stuff like that, and also higher demand. When there are more consumers chasing fewer goods, that then you're going to have higher prices as a result of that. And the question is whether or not that is going to be short-term or long-term. And the Fed right now, because of the Delta variant, is delaying their tapering. Their tapering is what's supposed to reduce the probability of inflation. The fact that they're pushing so much money into the economy is what's driving up some of the inflation. And the Fed used to say, okay, maybe we'll slow down a little early, maybe not. Now, because of the Delta variant, they're saying, look, we're probably not going to slow down until November, at least, which some people wonder if that's going to be a problem. Now, before I move on, I'm going to tell you guys a couple stocks I bought today, and I'll start doing that when we're talking and stuff like that. Before we move on, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe button. Also, I'm going to let you guys know we have a Black Business School for children. Your kids are going back to school pretty soon. Make sure they know their economics. their economics is more important than anything they'll learn in that school system. There's nothing more important for your child to learn, or a few things that are more important for your child to learn in school than the ability to survive economically, especially if they're Black. So this is specifically for Black children. We developed a program by experts for Black children only, and it's called Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. So the URL is blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. There are a whole set of modules, self-study exams, and also your child can literally get a little bachelor's degree when they're done that they can put on their wall that's really important for their self-esteem. So feel free to take a look at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. The URL is right there on the screen. It covers real estate, entrepreneurship, and also, real estate, entrepreneurship, the fundamentals of the stock market as well. So feel free to go take a look at that. It's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. And also something free that's going to happen is tomorrow, Chris Davis, who is one of the world's leading experts in business automation, who actually helps small entrepreneurs scale their businesses from like 5 or 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month. And he's also worked with billion-dollar companies as well. He's coming into a Black Business School symposium to address the students that are in the Black Business School. This is totally free. You can come to this totally free. But you just join the school so that I can send you the link so you can join us in the gathering tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern during the regular meeting for the Black Stock Market Program. We're going to skip that meeting this week, and I'm going to bring in Chris and let Chris kind of do his thing. And he's a really smart guy, and I really think it's something that you want to look into. So if you're interested, make sure that you are registered at the Black Business School. You can do a free membership. You just go to, in fact, let me give you a URL. You can actually join my life class, and that'll make you a student in the Black Business School. So my life class is at blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com. It's totally free. You don't have to spend a penny unless you want to. Now, we invite you to spend money in the Black Business School because we're trying to build actual physical buildings, and financial support is really helpful, but you don't have to. If your money's tight right now, that's okay. Just go to blackkeystogreatness.com. That'll give you free access to my book club every week. Also, a ton of curricula in my life class, and you can also come to the event tomorrow with Chris Davis. So feel free to go to blackkeystogreatness.com. Last point, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. Stocks that I bought today. I bought some Apple. I bought some Microsoft. I'm going to buy some American Express and some Morgan Stanley. Those are 4 stocks I want to add to my portfolio because they're quality companies, and these are companies that I believe you should buy when there are dips, because these are companies that are strong and solid and not likely to sort of falter and fall apart. So I'll say it one more time: American Express, Morgan Stanley, Microsoft, and Apple. Apple has a lot of really interesting things happening that are leading experts to believe that the stock could go from 140 right now to over 200 within the next couple of years. They've got, big announcements coming up with obviously the new iPhone launch, which I think occurs before Christmas. They're also doing some innovative things in other areas, like even electric vehicles and all kinds of stuff. I forgot what was the other thing Apple was doing. I know 5G is about to pop off, so that's going to be a big deal. So I just really like Apple a lot right now. I'm going to really add that as a solid part of my portfolio. So anyway, guys, that's it. I got to go. I got a meeting, and I hope you benefited from the conversation. It was awesome talking to you. And so please have a wonderful day and hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And just a reminder, if you want to join us for the event tomorrow, you can go to blackkeystogreatness.com and sign up and get free access to my life class. Feel free to go through that. It's really good stuff. I decided to let you guys have it for free because I really don't want there to be any barriers between you getting the information you want about how to be successful and all that other stuff. So take care, guys. Have a good one, and I love you, and I will see you very, very soon. Be good. Peace.